Time for another stock review, a member service we provide here. If you're a member and you do a $5 minimum super chat, you can have a review done like this, which will probably rank #1 on YouTube and might even rank on Google as well. The higher you pay, the further up the list it goes. So this is Live Nation. And during this review, I'm going to share with you the intrinsic value, the balance sheet, the profit, the loss, who's buying, giving you access to premium software you have to pay hundreds of dollars for, but I'll provide it for free. I will also do the full back test against the S&P. I will look at the dividends, if there are any, breaking news, analysis using a whole array of very expensive paid software, again, providing for you. And the idea is to provide you with the information so you can decide whether you can make money from this stock. I'm completely impartial. No one pays me to make these reviews. I'm not sponsored by the company to say it's great, but I only own the S&P. But we're going to look over the numbers. We're going to keep calm. We're not going to get stressed like this guy here, some guy on YouTube telling everyone buy now before we all lose our money. We don't do that here. We're all calm. We're always making money. We never lose money. I never lose money on my trades. And that's what this service is all about. And right now, it's Live Nation. We start nice and simple and we get more and more advanced as we go through the review, and hopefully it will provide you with a great service. Just as I'm making this, I'm getting one of my viewers, thanks for yesterday information. I sold. I hope you sold at the top as directed. You can now buy back 20% lower and get more XRP than you had before. Congratulations to you. Consider becoming a member and you'd have a lot more information than that. Right, let's get into it. If you'd like to tap the like button, this is being made live. That would be fantastic. Later on, this will be available on a playlist, Alpha Spread playlist, my reviews, plus we can restream it on our extra channel so you can watch it and discuss live with other investors as well. Live Nation, ticker symbol LYV. I used to work with Live Nation. My show, One Night in Vegas, which performed all over the world, including I performed in Vegas, was on the Live Nation website. I used to sell tickets through Live Nation to my shows. Sold millions of tickets around the world to my shows. Anyway, Live Nation Entertainment. And if you're interested, by the way, there's my music channel. You can go and check out my Vegas show. It's in the chat right now. Also below in the description. Live Nation operates as an entertainment group. The firm engages in producing, marketing, and selling live concerts. I should know. I should know. I've literally done it. We don't need to read. That's a very long thing there. All about basically they sell tickets. I'm flipping heck. I've never seen one so long. That's unusual. Basically, we all know what Live Nation does. Live events are hosted on their website, and you can book tickets and so on and so forth. The CEO is Michael Rapino. If you'd like Michael on the show, you can. We've done many CEO interviews and we'll do many more in the future. If you'd like Michael on the show, I never call anyone. I never sell my services to anyone. We believe in underselling and over-delivering all the time. They come on the show because they want to. And how you tell them about the show is because of you, the investor. What you do is if you want Michael on the show and you want to learn about this stock, you simply email investor relations on their website and tell them that you're an investor. You can do a default email for any company that you own. Email them and say, I'm an investor and I'd like to learn more about your company. Martyn Lucas hosts a show and Meet the CEO series, which ranks #1 for most of the stocks we cover. And he'd love to interview you. And CEOs say they love coming on my show. It's better than Bloomberg because it's unscripted, unedited, always has been, always will be. And we have a good conversation and we bring you world exclusives. And we've shown that many times where we've had stocks pop on our review, on our interviews and all sorts. So if you'd like him on the show, build a relationship with investor relations. When they say, great, we're interested, we want to come on, then at that point, you can put them in contact with me and we can go from there. Since 1996, based in Beverly Hills, California, where else really, the volume is very low. Look at the volume here, extremely low volume. We've got another new member.
John R. Hagen has become a member.
Thank you, John. Go and watch the members video, get yourself signed up on Discord, and I'll upgrade you during a live show once you've done that for all the free training, one-on-one training. We provide free training. So you can see the volume is very, very low. People just hold this stock, it seems. Market cap of 31.39 billion. Price to earnings ratio 147. Sounds expensive, is it? Well, we'll find out in a moment. No dividend here, just growth. Okay, sounds very expensive. Morningstar saying it's a buy. We don't pay any attention to that. They're paid to say that. We'll do our own. The bulls are saying great contributions from venues, greater contributions from venues, sponsorship and advertising give room for significant margin expansion. The bears are saying artists have too much leverage over Live Nation. Yep, you're damn right. I always made sure I had a good deal, despite the recent good times and the contribution from venues. So there's some negativity there. What about inside trading going on with Robinhood investors? I don't care. On this stock, it's a very, very small amount. Not bothered what retail investors do. This stock is not going to be moved by retail investors. It's not that sort of stock. Hedge funds have recently been looking at the size of the trades there in the 5 million range, apart from that one back in Q1 of 24, would look to me like just taxable trades. No big deal, no mass exit there. And in fact, that's increasing upwards now, which is good. Insiders from the company, that's very nice. They're buying in. However, 200,000 is nothing. Again, this is tax purposes, automated transactions. This is no big deal. So I'm not interested in that. Who else? The uncertainty is high. Well, it would be. Doesn't mean it necessarily is. But the industry is always going to mark it as high. Trust me, I've been there. I lived this life. It's always marked as high. It means your insurance will cost you a fortune. Economic moat, narrow. Yes, of course, the way they do business can always be done by somebody else. They can't afford to make their prices any higher. They can't be charging more for the booking fees because they'd go out of business. They're very, very vulnerable to economic conditions. Stewardship exemplary. They are now cash positive. They weren't 23. They are now. But the expectations of Q4 don't look very good. However, we get a massive beat. That could be a nice upside there. That's nice to see. Expecting to lose money February 20th. Again, we can cover the earnings. If one of our members books an earnings, we can cover it from a minimum of $5, by the way. Very cheap, right? Disney, Delta Airlines. I don't like airlines. Uber, a bit risky. Netflix, very expensive. MGM. Look, you can see the sort of things here. DraftKings, Spotify. There's a bit of variation here, which would suggest to me, we'll come on to it in a moment, the chart's a bit bouncy. Boeing, I don't like, I'm in great business, but very risky airlines. Southwest Airlines, oh dear. PayPal, no. Meta, great. Very interesting array of stocks there that is owned by Robinhood. So we got. I bet it's a volatile stock. There you go. Look at that. I could tell by the investors that would have huge volatility year to date. Look at that. Up and down, breakout all over the place. This reminds me of AMC. I'd never touch AMC. So, I don't like anything that performs like this. You might like it from a trading point of view, and if that's the case, you need to follow Sensei because he will provide you with the exact levels to buy and sell. So I tell you what, this is not straight off the bat, this is not for me, this is not how I make money, but this is for very aggressive scalp traders. Sensei will provide you the knowledge of that if you want it. So I strongly recommend you join Sensei on a Sunday. Click subscribe, ring the bell, and like this video if you are enjoying it. Okay. Let's move on. Thank you very much, Jeff, for your subscription. Let me check on how Sensei's videos are doing. We're just coming up to 43,000 subscribers. He's doing very well indeed. Yes, a couple of thousand views in the last hour. Very nice. Right, let's have a look at the latest news. First of all, let's look at a back test. We can see, exactly like I said, Live Nation is a very volatile stock. You can't trade this without good technical information. Sensei provides it on a Sunday. Recommend you go and check out that. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. Central on our channel. The green line is Live Nation. The blue line, as you can see, is the S&P. Pretty much, apart from back in 2016, Live Nation outperforms the S&P. Very rarely goes below. It did a little bit in 2016, but pretty much followed it. But it tends to track above. Even there, look, it kept above. So it outperforms the S&P. But look at this volatility. If you can buy it here, sell it here, buy it here, sell it here, you can really outperform. But that's not as easy as it might seem. And then, of course, tax implications and everything else. Recently, we've ramped right up. Why? We'll find out in a minute. If you'd invested $10,000 in January in 2015 on the S&P, you've done 3.5, 34,000. You've done very well. Great. 10,000 in Live Nation, 52,000, a 5x. Very nice indeed. Very good indeed. What about the What about the factor grade analysis? Now, all this software you're seeing is provided by Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread. The links in the chat, the links are below. I'm providing you with premium services which cost hundreds of dollars, but with my referrals, you get free trials, you get massive discounts. On the basic plan, I think it's $90. Without my referral, you don't get the free trials. You might get the discounts, but you don't get as much of a discount as you do with my referral or anyone's referral. But obviously, you're here with me, so you might as well use mine as opposed to anybody else's. All right. Okay. The forward PE, 124 times earnings. This sounds extremely expensive to me. I've already said off the bat, I don't like volatility like this. I am not even though I do scalp trade, only when I'm taking a break. I can't do it live on air. I wouldn't be responsible to my audience. They would try to follow me and you'd make mistakes and it'd be chaos. So I only do that when I'm taking a break. I don't do scalp trades live on air like this. This is just bonkers. It's very, very expensive. Short interest. Well, the short interest is 6.48. It's a lot, but excessive is 20% and above. GameStop was 100%. We haven't got the volume. No short squeeze. No short squeeze. Those that will say on YouTube, we're going to get a short squeeze. No, we're not. You need at least 20% and you need volume 4, 5x your usual volume. There is no volume here at all. So it's not that. No short squeeze. Valuation, D-. Too expensive. Now you might say, look, it's improved. 3 months ago, it was an F. It's improved. But the stock's gone up. That's because it's doing good business now faster than the price has gone up. So that's why it's a D-. It's improved. Still expensive though. But you might like the fact it's improved. It was a lot worse. So it's growing because it's doing better business, and we'll show you in a minute why. So you might like it, even though it's expensive. The growth is A, good. Profitability is B, that's moved up. Momentum is A, that's moved up. And revisions, C, that's moved up. Very, very good. All going in the right direction. Could it justify the price? Well, we'll come on to that in a minute. This is the fundamental news. Now, this is important to me because this is where I speak to people who work there. I interview CEOs and I want to know what's going on at the factory. I want to know what's going on in the office. So if you want to follow me on X and Instagram, there are my links. You see me post my conversations and what I'm doing all the time. Links in the chat, links below the description of the video. This is just out. News literally an hour and a half out ago from making this video. You won't have this news unless you are a premium customer for Seeking Alpha. I am, so I'm sharing it with you in the chat. You can get your own referral. Live Nation Entertainment dips on plans to offer 1 billion convertible note. That's why it's down today. Potentially provides opportunity. This rally has provided a dip on this news. But is this a good news or bad news? Well, Live Nation on Tuesday announced plans to offer 1 billion in aggregate principal amount of convertible senior notes due 2030. The notes will accrue interest payable semi-annually in arrears and will mature January the 15, 2030 unless repurchased, redeemed or converted in accordance with their terms prior to such a date. The company expects to grant the initial purchasers a 13-day option to purchase up to an additional 100 million of the notes. It expects to use the net proceeds from the offering to fund the repurchase of a portion of its 2% convertible senior notes due in 2025, to repay outstanding amounts under the company's existing revolving credit facility, to pay related fees and expenses, and for general corporate purposes. I don't mind doing this, but for general corporate purposes, that line there worries me. When companies raise money for expansion, for the possibility to grow the business, I'm all for it. General corporate purposes can be sort of swallowed up in pay rises for the management. Just saying, that's a sort of code there for general purposes. General purpose. Yeah, we want to pay ourselves some more money. And like I said before, I didn't like the way this operates. So remember, don't have to buy anything. There's plenty of things to buy. Move on, buy something else. Always expect excellence. It's your money. And remember, people take your money from you all the time. So be careful, just, because it keeps going up, thinking, oh, I'll buy that. Let's now look at the analysis I like, the balance sheet. 85% of people don't even read the balance sheet. We've done a poll on it. This is what I look at. Fundamental value. Would you pay $100 for a can of Coke? Well, that's what this shows you. I presume you wouldn't, unless it was the last can of Coke on Earth. Then maybe you would. Intrinsic valuation. Overvalued by 15%. Can we pay that? Well, it's a growth stock. Can we pay that? Over the period, it's up 1,000% since 2005. It's a growth stock. Can we pay that? Yeah. We can pay 15% of the valuation. Yeah. That's okay. Best case scenario, 24%. Are we in a best case scenario on that news? Probably not. There's growth here, though. 36%, we're not in the worst case scenario. I say we're base. Move down. What about the balance sheet? What about the financials? Revenue, 23.3 billion. Now, this is my alpha spread. I'll give you the link for this. Very, 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 very cheap to get this. Very cost effective. I know the CEO, the discount I've given you is so good, it makes my membership for free. Every one of my members should have alpha spread. It's a lot cheaper than Seeking Alpha. Everyone should have it. It's not expensive at all. It's very, very good. I use it all the time. 23.3 billion. It's down 2%. It's that big dip there. Steady growth. It's okay. But for the price, I don't know. Operating income, down 1%. Net income, down 22%. Expecting to increase. Investing cash flow, minus 3%. Now, these numbers aren't great considering that we've just pumped, are they? Plus 5%. That's negative. Operating cash flow up 15%. That's good. The balance sheet, 19.7 billion, 5 billion cash. That's a good ratio. We like that. What about the liabilities, though? 90 is where it goes wrong. I'm looking for the issue here. 19.5 billion in liabilities. Long-term debt is 5.7. Ongoing payments. So 5.7. Balance sheet isn't good. A lot of debt. Percentage-wise, 30%. Okay, catalyst to go improve with rates coming down, but rates are going to be slow to come down, folks. They're not zipping up. They're not zipping down as everybody thought they were. They are coming down. I expect in December another 0.25, but it could take a couple of years to get the rates down where we want them. Gross margin, 25%. Operating margin, 5%. Now, remember earlier I said narrow, very narrow moat, non-existent moat, none. Remember I said I've worked in this business. You can't add a single penny more without pushback. Live Nation make money from their artists. I know, I used to pay these fees. And people used to complain about it. They used to book one of my shows for $100 or whatever. And then there was like, $15 booking fees and all that kind of stuff for Live Nation. People don't like it. It's very, people don't like this sort of stuff. I used to book a lot of theaters on my own without Live Nation as well. Because people didn't want to pay the fees. So 1% net margin. So this is not a business for me. I'm telling you straight off the bat. Wouldn't buy this. There's better opportunities out there. I wouldn't buy it. Period. Done. Not buying it. Net margin. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. And you can't do much about it. You can't suddenly go, we're going to charge $20 to book a ticket, can you? FCF margin 3%, ROCE 12%. I wouldn't buy this company. Too expensive. Wouldn't buy it. ROIC 8%, 1% ROA, 90%. Better opportunities out there. Why risk your money? Trade it if you want. If you want to play scalp trading. Profitability 61%. I'm surprised it's that high, to be frank. Surprised it's that high. Remember, you can make good profit though, even on low margins if you sell enough of it. It's like being McDonald's, right? What do McDonald's make on every burger? Not a lot. But if they make millions of billions of burgers, remember they're not a burger business, they're a land business, but you can see profitability is 61. It's not bad really, is it? It's pretty good. But I don't like that margin. There you go. Solvency, 41%. A lot of debt. It's not terrible. It's not going to go bankrupt. You can buy it and own it. But I don't like it. It's not for me. It's not for me. 22% downside, worst case scenario. Things don't go well. Don't like that. 6% upside. I'm going to 3x on the S&P by the end of the decade because of AI. Going to way outperform that. What about best case scenario? Best case scenario, 20%. Well, if you buy the S&P on dips, you can get that. On macro conditions, I do it all the time. I'm up like 35% this year. So absolutely not for me. 100% not for me. There's my review on Live Nation. I hope that was of help. Click subscribe and ring the bell and tap the like button, all that good stuff. Leave me your thoughts below. Live Nation, it's a scalp trader's dream. I can't justify the price right now. It seems way too expensive. I don't see what's attractive here. So it's not for me. It's nothing proprietary. At the end of the day, it's a bit like Netflix. I wouldn't buy Netflix either. Netflix is great and it's the leader, but I wouldn't buy Netflix either because it doesn't do anything that somebody else can't come along and do themselves. Someone could set up a website and book concert tickets. They don't do anything. They're not of any use to anyone. The artists are, but you got to remember, Live Nation also own a lot of venues as well. And should probably point that out. I know, I played in them. So if you go to a certain theatre, concert hall, you have to go through Live Nation because they own the building. So they're not just a website. Please book through us. I know you could book for someone else. Please book through us. They own the buildings in a lot of cases. So you have to go through them anyway. So their business is probably okay. It's sound. It's not going anywhere. But if I was buying this, I would absolutely have to go to Sensei for the technical trading positions of this. Otherwise, I would be going blind. I'd be guessing. I mean, so there are good possibilities here, but I do think you need to have the technical charts with this one, specifically this one, and Sensei can provide that on the Sunday show. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here, I shall put a Live Nation playlist. I think I've already got one. I've done one before. And down here, I'll put my full Alpha Spread Seeking Alpha playlist. And you can go and see all of my reviews that I've done, over 200, I believe. Maybe nearly 300 now. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.